As the two crouched in a defensive position, the fatally wounded man under Endry rolled to the side over his weapon. The wounded man braced himself against the flat side of a table to add futile pressure to his side. The one standing with the shield pushed forward with his ally, trying to circle Endry in the space in order to flank the threat. Endry was able to put the full weight of a kick into the leather shield, the entire flat of his foot pushing the smaller man backwards and tripping into the resting pit around the fire. In the same motion, Endry was able to poke at the other with his spear, stopping the flanking maneuver as the opponent was forced to parry, tripping backwards over his dying friend, whom still was bleeding out onto the floor despite his best efforts to stop the flow of red. Now Endry took a wide step backwards, more towards the center of the room, to regain full control of the limited field in front of him. The width of the room was perfect for his choice of weapon if Endry could take on both opponents in front of him before the woman bandit returned from her inquiries. The shield was quite literally the biggest obstacle. Luckily, though, it seemed as though its wielder was unaware of how to properly utilize the tool, instead leading with the second brother in the back. It was the one without the shield who took up the defensive forward stance, cautiously batting at the spear tip as Endry made petty thrusts with the shaft to agitate his opponents. It kept them from having the wherewithal to properly press forward. The fighter in front occasionally tried to grab at the spear shaft as well, but Endry kept sure that only the edges of his weapon were within reach, waiting for the duo to make a mistake that came when the one in front again made a reach for the wooden shaft, just catching it when Endry pulled back and pulled the man off balance. He only had taken a half step forward, but was entirely unfocused and unprepared as Endry made two deep thrusts into the exposed shoulder and chest. The criminal had initially caught his fall before meeting the cold floor, but the added wounds helped finish Gravity's mission as the larger of the two collapsed. Another pool of blood quickly forming underneath and running downhill toward the back of the room and the pair of doors.